Afternoon folks, I'm in the White Peak district today. It's a school day as well, so I should be happy, shouldn't I? But it hasn't got off to a great start. The first bit of the walk there was lots of construction work going on, you know, hard hats and high vis and all that, just in the middle of fields and things. This is the first time I've had any peace to get the camera out, and I've done a couple of miles already. Also, I've treated myself to some new merino undercrackers, which I've got on at the moment. But even though I've worn them a few times and they've been great, for some reason today, at least 20 quid of them seems to be garrotting my knackers. And I've tried playing pocket billiards to try and get them sorted, and it's a losing battle, so I'll just have to grin and bear it. Anyway, first world problems, here I am. See, it's rather nice. Much more farmy in the White Peak generally than the Dark Peak, as I'm sure you know. Okay, so what am I up to today? Well, it's a 10-mile hike, more or less, and I'm going to be doing 90% of it today, with the hope of a bit of a bivvy camp at the end of it, and then a little walk back to the Vespa tomorrow. So I've got a lot of walking to do. It's already well into the afternoon, so it's best foot forward. Thought I'd just stop here to show you the rest of the route I've got to do today, because I can pretty much see it ahead of me. I'm going up that hill in a minute. That's the first of the decent hills, because it's been quite flat so far. And then I've got to pretty much go along this ridge until I get to those pointy hills in the distance. Now I don't know if you can see those on the GoPro very well, but they're sort of quite angular. So there's going to be a bit of sweat, I think, getting up and down those, and then I'm going to camp hopefully at the very end there, as far as you can see. So if I do run out of daylight before I get there, I'm hoping there'll be other places I can pitch a bivvy. Hill number 1 bagged. It's just past 5 miles. Looks like this is the biggest one, actually, although hills often seem like that, don't they, when you're on top of them. That looks an awful long way for me to get before sunset. Let's have a closer look. Right, I've zoomed in a bit from the trig point. Hope you can hear me, because it's quite windy up here. The hill in the foreground, I can't go over that because it's not public access, so I'm going to have to go around that on the road, which will be a bit boring. But then the little hill in the middle is open access. I'd like to go over that, although it's a bit of a scramble and I may run out of time. That's hill 2, we'll call that hill 2. And then hill 3 is behind it. That's a very famous one, I'm sure a lot of you recognise it. And then the hill right behind that, the sort of ridge, was where I was supposed to camp. It's 5 o'clock now, I'm not sure if I'm going to make that. I'll crack on, see how I get on. Yeah, it's proper White Peak tackle, this is. Beautiful. Right, so that's the scrambly hill up there. I am bypassing it. It is getting late, look. The sun over there. I've only got about an hour left. I've got to get up that hill over there and to the one beyond it. But I'm not doing too bad. Right, onwards. Whew. I've started my ascent of Hill 3. It's a biggie. It's looking back at Hill 2, which looks massive from here. Hill 3. Right, so I'm sat on Hill 3 and it's stick or twist time. It's 10 to 7 now, so I haven't got a lot of daylight left. I think I'm going to struggle to get to where I wanted to end up, which is over there on that ridge just down from it. Would have been a nice view looking back this way in the morning. But what surprised me is I've got this hill to myself. Now, I never considered camping on this hill simply because whenever I've been here before it's been really busy. Plus there's lots of other camping videos camping on this hill as well. I didn't really want to be another cliche. But I've got to say, if I've got it to myself and I'm going to struggle to get there before it's too dark, I think I'm going to stick here. I'll probably make myself some tea now and see if anybody else comes up. If anybody else comes up here and pitches a tent, I might consider moving on. But if I've got the hill to myself, I might as well stay here. There should be some cracking views that way as well of the sunrise with any luck. Right, so I'll get my stove out and get something to eat. Well, I did stick with Hill 3. I've got to be very careful though because I'm in plain sight of lots of farms and houses around, so I'm not going to be able to do any filming really. I'm just showing you that I'm cooking my tea now and that I've got my hooped bivvy set up with a bit of a tarp as well, just to keep the wind off because it is quite windy. I'll turn that off. There's the moon up there. Okay, so I'm afraid I'll have to show you around a bit in the morning when there's more light and I'm less conspicuous. How about that for a view to wake up to? Not bad at all, is it? There's been a photographer chap just come up here called Giles, nice bloke, and he says he's never known it be this spectacular. There's a very small amount of days where you get this, and I think he was chuffed that he'd caught it, and I certainly am as well. Right, I'm just going to quickly, before I pack it away, because I need to get off this hill really before people start appearing, just going to show you my kit. Okay, firstly, cook kit. I was being pretty lightweight. It's just the Pocket Rocket 2 stove, titanium pot. I just had a boil in the bag meal, some porridge, etc. So nothing fancy at all, because I was doing a lot of walking yesterday. I didn't want too much weight. Then my shelter is the Alpkit Elan or Elan Bivvy, which I've done a couple of videos with before but never sort of talked about it. I've got mixed feelings about it. I do like how easy it is to pitch, and it's obviously lightweight. It does keep you dry, and it shelters you well. The thing I don't like is I do think it's much too small when zipped up. If you're a side sleeper like me, it really pushes against the inside when it's zipped up. Your shoulder does, your upper shoulder, and that compresses down the loft of your sleeping bag, and you tend to get cold on that side, and I did last night. Despite the fact that it's only, mid-September and it wasn't that cold a night. I think it got down to about 10 degrees, although there was a wind. Oh, I should say as well, I did cheat a bit. You may have seen from the night pictures that I put a tarp up just to the side here, against this side here. That was because the wind was coming from this way, and it just made a big difference when I was sitting up and cooking and everything. The sleeping bag is, you've seen this before, my hammock video I think, the Snug Pack Tactical 2 bag. It's supposed to go down to 0 degrees comfort, that is, and I was cold last night, but to be fair, that could be, in part due to this problem with the Alpkit. I'd like to ask Alpkit actually, please, can you do an XL version of this, like you do with your Hunker bivvy bag, for people who aren't skinny cyclists, which a lot of your gear seems to be geared towards, because it's great otherwise. Sleeping pad is the Climate. I would have liked to bring my Thermarest really, or even my nice thick Trekology, but you just can't in these bags because, again, there just isn't the height, which is a shame. Trekology pillow. This strap's really handy here as well on the Alpkit for keeping everything in place. I've got a new water filter, the one that everyone else has got, the B-free one, dead good. You can just drink straight out of it. The flow rate's brilliant. That's my chest pouch, the Helicon Tex Numbat it's called. That's where I keep all my camera stuff. And that all went into the Osprey Kestrel 38 quite comfortably. Right, let's get this packed away. That's where I was, all packed up, all my rubbish taken away with me. No evidence that I was there except a little bit of squash grass. As ever folks, leave no trace. And here's my bags, ready to go. Interesting little cave. Interesting little smell.
So there's hill 3 behind me. That's where I camped last night, just over the other side of the summit. As I set off, I got chatting to a nice couple from Sheffield. I'm ever so sorry if you're watching. You did tell me your names. I knew I'd forget, and I did. But anyway, it was nice chatting to you. If you are watching this, put a comment with your names and I'll put a little title. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. So I came down that hill, bit of a scramble in places, and I'm now at the top nearly of hill 4, at the exact spot where I was going to camp originally, so I'll have to save that for another day. You can see that the weather's taken a bit of a turn. It's a lot grimmer now and windier, so I've been very, very lucky. I've now got about half an hour back to the Vespa, if it's still there. I know Ash Outdoors, hello mate, always tells me off for leaving it in laybys, so I hope he hasn't cursed me. If it is there, I've got to take it to Derby for its MOT, so wish me luck with that. Okay, well thanks ever so much as ever for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.